All four living former First Ladies have joined First Lady Melania Trump in an unusual united political front expressing horror at children separated from their parents at the US-Mexico border. Former First Lady Rosalynn Carter joined Michelle Obama, Laura Bush and Hillary Clinton on Monday as she slammed the Trump administration for the disgraceful policy of removing children from their parents. "When I was First Lady, I worked to call attention to the plight of refugees fleeing Cambodia for Thailand. I visited Thailand and witnessed firsthand the trauma of parents and children separated by circumstances beyond their control," Carter said in a statement released on Twitter. "The practice and policy today of removing children from their parents' care at our border with Mexico is disgraceful and a shame to our country," the former First Lady added. Scroll down for video. Carter's statement echoed the same sentiment of Bush, who just hours before said, "I live in a border state. I appreciate the need to enforce and protect our international boundaries, but this zero-tolerance policy is cruel. It is immoral. And it breaks my heart." Michelle and Barack Obama also shared a message of solidarity with Bush after she penned an op-ed condemning Trump's zero-tolerance immigration policy. Former First Lady Michelle shared Bush's Washington Post opinion piece that critiqued the separation of migrant families, saying, "Sometimes truth transcends party." Barack retweeted his wife's sentiment on Monday, shedding light on the thousands of children ripped from their undocumented parents and detained in isolated centers at the US-Mexico border. Melania Trump's statement appeared to break with the Trump administration's zero-tolerance policy on illegal immigrant children crossing into the United States with adult family members. The First Lady's spokeswoman Stephanie Grisham said in a statement to DailyMail.com, CNN and other outlets that Mrs. Trump hates to see children separated from their families and hopes both sides of the aisle can finally come together to achieve successful immigration reform. She believes we need to be a country that follows all laws, but also a country that governs with heart. Bush's op-ed called Trump's zero-tolerance policy cruel and immoral as she was shocked, along with millions of Americans, to see images of children torn away from their parents. "Our government should not be in the business of warehousing children in converted box stores or making plans to place them in tent cities in the desert outside of El Paso," she wrote. She then said the detention center and tent cities are eerily reminiscent of Japanese-American internment camps, which she dubbed one of the most shameful episodes in U.S. history. Share this article. She urged politicians to reunite these separated families. "If we are truly that country, then it is our obligation to reunite these detained children with their parents and to stop separating parents and children in the first place," she said. Hillary Clinton also weighed in on the policy. She said on Monday, "Every human being with a sense of compassion and decency should be outraged." Clinton told an awards luncheon for the Women's Forum of New York that the White House's explanation is an absolute lie. The news comes days after the Department of Homeland Security confirmed that 2,000 children have been separated from their parents after crossing the border illegally, according to CNN. From April 19 to May 31 in 2018, a total of 1,995 minors traveling with 1,940 adults who claimed to be the children's guardians were separated, according to Department of Homeland Security spokesman Jonathan Hoffman. The Trump administration maintains that adults crossing the border illegally should be charged with federal crimes instead of referring migrants coming with children to immigration courts. In her article, Bush described the conditions the detained children live in, where workers have been instructed to not pick up or touch the children to comfort them. "Imagine not being able to pick up a child who is not yet out of diapers," she wrote. She also invoked the name and memory of her mother-in-law, former First Lady Barbara Bush, who died in April. In one particularly memorable moment during her tenure almost 3 decades ago, Barbara Bush spent time with babies who had HIV/AIDS, picking them up and holding them. "My mother-in-law never viewed her embrace of that fragile child as courageous. She simply saw it as the right thing to do in a world that can be arbitrary, unkind and even cruel," Bush said. She who after the death of her 3-year-old daughter knew what it was to lose a child, believed that every child is deserving of human kindness, compassion and love, Shia added. It's a rare public admonishment of current administration policy from Bush, who has rarely weighed in on politics since her husband left office.